Judy, many hospitals and health systems have some fairly tight arrangements in contracting with their employed physicians as well as some of the affiliated physicians. With the changes in MACRA, we're also going to have to see some changes here because the incentives may not align. What do you think your approach would be or suggestions would be to deal with this?
So, Kevin, that's a great question. A lot of really important pieces to that. And I think the overarching principles are it needs to be done in a really very thoughtful way. We need to involve and evolve, both involve everyone who's involved in providing that type of care and evolve the work that we do together to best meet the needs of our patients and assure that that's matched with the way that MACRA is being implemented as best as possible, which of course requires continuous assessment. It's very complex. There are a host of knowledgeable people who spend a lot of their time looking at these sorts of matters and bringing some of those folks in to the organizational discussions about this, as well as including the physicians and the others who are involved in the care will be critical in an evolving way. Understanding what resources are needed to support physicians in providing the type of care that MACRA encourages us to provide, understanding what the impacts on patients will be, the impacts on our practices, and workflow. What will it mean for the workflow and the information technology that supports that workflow for us? Some people use the phrase volume to value to describe this. And as these kinds of efforts begin to cascade throughout an organization, it will be critical to, as I started by saying, both involve and evolve to recognize future iterations to provide best patient care.
You know, the details of how hospitals and health systems contract with physicians and other providers is really beyond the scope of this conversation and this panel. There's so many different wrinkles in that process that it would be difficult to address here. But I would say that it's about alignment of incentives. And even before there are payment incentives associated with the MACRA, within those existing contracts and arrangements, you can create quality incentive compensation packages and bonuses that will help the system to work together with the physicians toward the ends that will ultimately be rewarded by the MACRA statutes and process. So I would encourage folks to think about what are some ways within our existing contracts and arrangements that we can change them to promote now the type of behavior that we want and will need down the line in a new payment structure.